Hello there, welcome back to my studio. Today we're gonna continue in the series about learning to paint. And if you missed the video on color theory, I'm gonna put the link at the top. And today we're gonna talk about the design and painting process. So the first thing that I do when I am designing is I pick pieces that I like. I like antique pieces, so I like to take, when I'm doing a still life, different antique pieces, put them together, photograph them, and then paint them. For example, this box in here that I painted in here. So because that's what I like, that's what I paint, but that doesn't mean that's has to be what you're gonna paint. So pick up pieces that you like, that means something to you, and take photographs, and then you can paint them. You don't only have to paint still life. I am a nature artist. I love to paint flowers. I love to paint birds, anything from nature, different type of animals. So for example, this is the photo of this bird, and I decided instead of giving it the green background, to put a creative background where I added stamps, and I created some interest in there. And so I was going to put this class on the website, on YouTube, but I lost some of the footage in the filming of these, and so I have to redo it. But I am planning on putting it in the future on YouTube. If you're interested, please let me know in the comments that you would like to see the painting of this bird. Anyway, so it's not only painting still life, you can also paint other type of subjects. And the process that I'm teaching you today applies to any type of painting, either a bird, a flower, a still life. And I'm gonna show you the process step by step. So the first step is to pick up the pieces that you're gonna put in your photograph, and then you're gonna go and take a photograph. When you take the photograph, make sure that you place a light on the side. If you want your light coming from the left side, then put the light on the left. I usually put them on the front, either left or front right. I never put them on the back, the light. So put a light that is hitting your object, and then take the photograph. If you do it that way, you're gonna also have the shadow. It seems that the light in this way was coming from the right, because you see the shadow on this side. So the light was coming from the right. So pick up where the direction of your light is gonna come. It was probably from the top right area. And then you already know where your light comes. You're gonna see that your shadows are gonna be at the other side of your light. So the first thing that I do is I do a setup of pieces that I like, that I would like to paint. For example, I wanted to paint a perfume bottle, so I purchased a pretty one, and then I put this porcelain box that I have and a rose in a tablecloth, and this is what I end up with. So I'm gonna tell you what I do. I start with a photo, and I do a tracing of the photo. It's not hand drawn. I know how to draw, but why do you have to pass through all that trouble when we are in the age of technology and there's so many tools that you can use? In the past, in the age of the Renaissance masters, they made the sketches on a piece of paper, and that piece of paper was called a cartoon. And they, after they have made their tracing, they place the paper, and let's go from the beginning first. So what I do is I put the photograph over a light box, and unfortunately This has to be grounded, so I won't be able to connect it in here, to plug it in here. But what I do is I put the photo on top of the light box, and then I put a balloon, which is a transparent paper, and it's the one that has the most transparency. And I put the balloon, try to find a balloon in here. I put the balloon on top of, here it is. That is my pencil sketch. I sketch all the details with a pencil, and then I made a photocopy of it and save my pencil drawing, and now I have a photocopy, so that it doesn't it protects my original line drawing. And let me tell you, those sketches that the grandmasters used to make, they reuse them for several paintings. And if you want to learn about the Grandmaster, you can visit the Getty Museum, and they have a video about this process that the Grandmaster used to do, which is the same process that we do in decorative painting. So after you have your sketch, what you're gonna do, you're gonna bring whatever piece you're gonna be painting, and you're gonna put that line drawing over your canvas, whatever. This is wood, but whatever you're gonna be using, you're gonna put that tracing on top, and then you're gonna take, I'm gonna use the pencil one because I don't know where the others are. And then what you're gonna do, underneath you're gonna put graphite paper, which is make a chalk, either the gray or the white, depending on your surface. If your surface is dark, you use the white. If your surface is light, you use the dark. And then you're gonna trace by going over. So you put your graphite. I'll show you one that I just did. So I put my, see, this is a pour, and I'm gonna paint over that, and you're gonna put the tracing, and underneath you're gonna put the graphite like that, and you're gonna go over with your stylus. And this was also the same process that the Grandmaster used to do. They used to place a paper with black chalk, and they trace it with a stylus, and it's the same process that we're using nowadays. So after you have transferred your drawing, you have to prepare your mixes, paint mixes, and we're gonna go over this in another video. I'm gonna show you how I mix oil painting. This piece was painted with oil paintings. Well, if you can see, these are the mixes for the rose. These are the mixes, the green mixes for the green background, and I painted the background in green because it is the complement of the rose. And then these are the mixes for the porcelain box, etc. The thing is, for every color, I will do at least 5 values. A highlight, a light, a medium, a dark, and a very dark. And as I explained to you in the color theory video, the highlight and the light are going to be warmer and brighter than the rest. The medium is a medium value, but making the dark and the very dark duller and darker is what is going to create form. So besides that, in order to apply these mixes and these values into your piece, in order to create form, you need to know about, before I tell you that, what I do is to know how the colors are going to look, I paint a piece of board with the same color as my background, and I test my colors in there, because the colors will change on depending on the color of your background. If you really want to know how your mixes are gonna look, you have to have the color of your background, and that way you know exactly how the colors will look. Okay, so now I have to decide how I'm gonna put those values, and it depends on what you're doing, and this will change depending on where the light comes from. For example, in here the light is coming from the left, so that's what is in there first. This is where I'm gonna put my light, medium, dark, very dark, and the petals, the rose is gonna be treated like that, like a hole, and you're gonna have an area that's gonna be the light, and then it gets darker. The outer petals are gonna be duller, and the inner petals will be brighter and warmer. Duller and darker the outer petals. And also the individual petals, you can look them as a cylinder where it depends again if the light is coming from the top. This is light, medium, dark, very dark, but it depends on where is your light coming from. Even the background will get those values, different values. So this is my pencil sketch that I did. So I put the highlight in here, then medium next to it, dark next to the medium, and then very dark. And that's the way I did the background. This one is the original of this piece, and this is where the light goes, the medium, and it is darker in this side. And so this was the photo. Let me see if I can go back. So this is the photo that I used, and this is what I created. And then I taught it twice, so these are the, if you can see in the original, the flowers look more than the flowers that were in the box, but then I started to make them look like roses in the flowers in the box. On both of the other pieces I make them look like roses. So you can do, you have artistic license, then you can do whatever you like. For example, look at this gold. So I created different values of the yellow, and orange, and gold has brown, purple, rose sienna, and yellow. You say rose sienna is made with purple and yellow, and those are the colors that you use to make gold. I have a video I think it's in YouTube that tells you about gold, how to make gold. And so you see the light in here is at the top and in the bottom part, and see how very dark is in here. In order to make an object metal shine, you have to have very strong darks and very strong lights. There's also gold in there, and you see how the light is hitting this, because that is this is like indented, and so the light will be hitting in there. So those are the things that you have to look when you are painting a design. I'm gonna show you one more thing, and then I'm gonna let you go. I want to show you in the rose that I showed you in the previous video how the petals in the outer area there have cooler values. See, they're more pinky and duller, and then the ones that are in the center area, they have more orange and yellow, and they're warmer. So warmer and brighter, and these are dullers because they have some pink added. So that's how you create form. The outer petals have to go back, and these are the center of attention. It's very important to think about value, about intensity. In order to create form, you have to think about these three components and temperature. So value, intensity, and temperature is very important. This is what I wanted to show you today, and we're going to try to do a piece from beginning to end so that you can learn this process, and it's going to be a piece in oil. So stay tuned, and thank you for joining me.